All right, so the date is April 20th, 2026, and today is one of those days that just perfectly captures this tension that's at the heart of the entire tech world. You've got some people building these incredible new futures, while at the exact same time, others are just desperately fighting to keep the present from completely falling apart. Let's get into it.
I want you to think about something for a second. Imagine the very foundations of the web. You know, the tools and the infrastructure that power literally everything from your favorite crypto app to major online stores. What happens if that foundation suddenly becomes vulnerable? What happens when the tools we count on to build our digital world just break?
Well, this isn't some hypothetical question. It's not a what if. A huge security crisis is unfolding right now, hitting the web development community hard, and honestly, the fallout is just getting started.
So where's all this trouble coming from? A company called Vercel. If you're not familiar, they are a massive web infrastructure provider. They host thousands and thousands of projects, and they're especially popular in the crypto space. They've just announced a really serious security breach, and it is sending absolute shockwaves through the entire ecosystem.
Okay, so to really get the threat here, we need to talk about something called API keys. The simplest way to think about them is like digital master keys. They let different apps and software talk to each other and access really sensitive data. So if an attacker gets their hands on these keys, it's game over. It's like you've handed them the keys to the entire kingdom. Databases, crypto wallets, all of it.
So how'd the bad guys pull this off? Well, it's a classic supply chain attack. They didn't even hit Vercel directly at first. Nope, they went after a smaller third-party AI tool. They compromised that, used this access to get into a Vercel employee's Google account, and from there, they just burrowed their way deep inside Vercel's internal systems. It just goes to show you how interconnected everything is, and how that creates these brand new, scary vulnerabilities.
You can bet the reaction from the crypto world was fast and furious. Any project that was hosted on Vercel is just scrambling right now. Orca, which is a major decentralized exchange, has already rotated every single one of its credentials. Others, like Zerion and CoSwap, are in the middle of emergency security audits. It's an all-hands-on-deck crisis to try and stop a potential catastrophe.
And you gotta look at the timing here. This Vercel hack isn't happening in a vacuum. April has been an absolutely brutal month for crypto security. The month started with a $285 million hack of Drift Protocol. Then, just yesterday, a $292 million exploit hit Kelp DAO. This isn't just one bad day. This is becoming a really ugly trend.
And when you add all that up, the total confirmed losses for this month alone are already over $577 million. That's just a staggering number, and it makes the potential damage from this Vercel breach feel so much bigger. The digital infrastructure is really under assault.
But here's the crazy thing. While that fire is raging in the world of web infrastructure, a completely different kind of battle is heating up in the world of consumer hardware. The smartphone arms race is hitting a whole new level.
Just today, Huawei dropped its new Pura 90 series, and they're coming out swinging with a two-pronged attack. You've got the standard flagship, the Pura 90 Pro, which is packing a wild dual 200-megapixel camera system. And then they've got a brand new wide-aspect foldable, the Pura X Max. They are just pushing the boundaries on camera tech and form factors at the same time.
But you know the deal. As these phones get more and more powerful, they run into a classic enemy, heat. You've probably felt it yourself, right? You're in an intense gaming session, the phone gets hot, and then it starts to lag. That's called thermal throttling. The processor is literally slowing itself down on purpose to avoid getting damaged. It's the biggest thing holding back true desktop-level performance on our phones.
Well, it looks like Redmi has a solution. Tomorrow, they're launching the K90 Max. And get this, it's the first Xiaomi phone ever with an active cooling fan built right into it. Yeah, a literal fan, like a tiny gaming PC in your pocket. And this isn't some gimmick. It means you can have sustained high frame rate gaming, and they paired it with a ridiculously huge 8,550 milliamp hour battery.
Now, to be fair, the top-tier gaming phones from ROG and Nubia already use fans, but just look at the battery on that Redmi. It is in a completely different league. This is taking a feature that used to be super niche and making it mainstream, and that tells you there's a serious new focus on mobile gaming performance.
So, we have this absolute explosion of innovation happening in our pockets. But that brings up a really interesting question about a much bigger industry pivot, one that might explain why your next PC upgrade feels like it's a long, long way off.
I mean, think about it. With all this energy going into getting 144 frames per second on a phone, you have to be asking, where are the next generation graphics cards for my PC? The market just feels quiet. And it turns out There's a very specific and very big reason for that.
And here it is. Intel just confirmed they have canceled their next big gaming GPU, the Arc B770. This is a huge blow for PC gamers who were really hoping for more competition in the market. But the reason why they canceled it, that's the real story.
This says it all. The entire industry is pivoting. See, Intel isn't just giving up. They're shifting all those resources over to building cards for the AI and data center market because it's just way more profitable. And they are not alone. NVIDIA and AMD, they're doing the exact same thing. They're delaying gaming releases to pump every last bit of production into the AI gold rush. The demand for AI hardware is basically swallowing the entire supply chain whole.
So let's step back for a second and try to put these pieces together. You've got a security crisis, a smartphone boom, and a PC hardware drought. What does it all mean when you look at the big picture?
Today is a perfect snapshot of the tech world in 2026. It's a day of incredible contrasts. On the one hand, you have this amazing innovation hitting our pockets. Pro-grade cameras, huge batteries, active cooling in our phones. But on the other hand, the very foundation of the web is under attack, and the sheer economic gravity of AI is pulling the entire hardware industry into its orbit, leaving PC gamers behind.
And that leaves us with one final and I think really important question. As this massive industry-wide pivot to AI completely rewrites all the rules and reallocates all the resources, it's really worth asking, who exactly is still building for you? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.